So Al's not on today, and I started up a Zoom meeting, and I'm not completely sure if this is going to work or not. It says it's recording, so we'll just move forward here. And without talking about the links and everything, I was just going to point out that Bob had bought a new motor driver board, and it has a different type of interface than what he had before. And I said, well, just get an Arduino. So here, for instance, I have that's an Arduino Nano. These are like $3 to $5 a piece. I still got the problem of trying to get it to focus, but anyway, that's an Arduino Nano, and I was thinking that what you could do is just hook your RC input signal up to whichever appropriate pin you have, and just go out and download. Somebody's going to say, "Oh, here's a driver, or here's a library. Put this in, and it will decode that and give you the numbers back." So that takes care of half of the problem right there.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, in order to get it to drive a board that's got PWM and direction, well, again, you can look for a library that says do that. And if not, it's not that hard to do that. And then if you happen to have a board that's got forward enable, reverse enable, like that new one that Bob just bought, or these ones that, oh, I didn't bring my props over with me. But anyway, I had this board that, it's like a BS. Let me go grab one. So this is what those other boards look like. You can buy these on Amazon. I don't remember how much they are. They claim to be a 43 amp driver board, and it just got two of these automotive driver chips on it. And it's got this interface here. It's a 6-pin, or 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 pins. And if I could get this to there, that might work.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta switch back here.
Yeah.
And if you quit talking, it quit switching the screens. So it says the 4 pins are VCC, ground. There's like a left enable, a right enable. Then there's the forward PWM, reverse PWM. Come on. Anyway, this is the board, the other type of interface where you say you PWM the forward signal, or you PWM the reverse signal. And again, that's not really hard to do. So you just had a microcontroller like that. You just pick the 2 output pins and do whatever you want to make that go. So they're going to try to do that for today. And my biggest problem was I couldn't find my little RC controller. It's just that little square box. You can buy them on Amazon for about $3 to $5. That's got a potentiometer on the top. So you plug your servo device into that and turn the knob, and then your servo follows it. And again, those are buried in a box somewhere. I think this time I actually found a bunch of them, put them all in the same box, so I know exactly where they are, but I have no idea where the box is. So I dug through a bunch of stuff and couldn't find it. And I thought the other thing was, again, I could take an Arduino like that, or an Arduino like this, and I could put a potentiometer on it, and then just get somebody's code that says generate a RC signal. So I could have created my own signal by doing it that way. And the more I dug around, I realized, my robot, which is sitting right here, it's got a microcontroller generating a PWM or a RC signal to run the big servo on the steering. So that would be another option. I could use that as a source. And as I move my remote controls box, move the pot back and forth, it generates an RC signal. I could decode that. So it really didn't have to stop me completely. Another thing you could do, as I say, you could probably find somebody's code that, if I wanted to build, it make the most sense, get 2 of these boards and have one of them that's just going to generate the RC pulses. So I'd put a pot on this, and as you turn the pot, it controls the RC pulse, and then have a second board that's going to decode that and drive the motor. So that'd be a way. And then another thing I just ran into last night, I just went to Google and said, I said something like RC pulse, decoding pulses or something like that. And one of the things that kept showing up was that little 16 channel PWM board that Adafruit sells. I think Bob is the first one that mentioned that, years ago, back when I was at Danfoss. So it's quite a while ago. But you can get that if you program that board right, it'll generate the PWM or the RC pulses. You can program it to do that. So basically you set up the frequency of the thing, and then you put in the appropriate numbers, and that'll set the pulse width where you want it. So that'd be another way to generate signals. And I thought I had another way thought up, and I can't remember what it was now. And of course, the best way is just give those little $3 adapter or $3 controllers, and you just plug it in and turn the knob, and it does what you want. So anyway, I thought about that stuff, and since I couldn't find the board that I wanted, I didn't get around and do anything on that. But that'd be probably a handy demo to put on and say, well, here's how you generate the RC pulses, and then say, here's how you decode it and put the information on the screen, and then say for this type of board to do PWM and direction, here's some code. I could either whip up some myself, or there's probably hundreds of examples on the internet how to do that. And then for the other one, that's the forward enable, reverse enable. That again, I'm sure there's code out there to do that, or just whip up your own code, because I don't think it's gonna be that hard to do. You just once you decode the RC signal, and it's probably going to give you like plus or minus 100% or something like that out of it. So you just have code that says take the absolute value of the PWM, and you're going to put that on a PWM pin on the board. And if you're doing PWM direction, you say if it's a positive number, you just simply set the direction bit, or if it's a negative number, reset the direction bit, or maybe you have to flip those around to get to go the right way. And then to do the forward enable, reverse enable, you just say, well, if the number coming out is a positive number, we want to take the absolute value of the PWM and put it on the forward PWM pin to drive it. And if it's a negative number, instead we put that on the other pin. So none of that should be all that hard to do, and it's just a matter of I think just sitting down and doing it would be the trick. But if you look at each one of those steps along there, they're basically all separate. And once you master one, then you can mix and match those to make it do what you want. So that's something I thought about, and I wasted a lot of time looking for those controllers, and I didn't find them. So I didn't get anything done for this week again. So maybe by next week I'll think about that and try to get that to do something. Other than that, oh, I'm sure I played with some other stuff and thought about some other stuff, but now, of course, I didn't make any notes, so I don't remember what it was. So we'll just ask Bob if he has anything here.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Can you see my screen, or can you see me at all, or? Oh, no audio.
Oh, I can see you sitting in front of a computer. Is that what I'm supposed to see?
Oh, okay, good. For some reason, I turned off my window when it shows, and I can't get it back. I can see you, but I can't see the pop-up with me in it.
Do you have a Zoom icon somewhere? If you click on that, it might come back.
Let's see. There it is. Okay. Yep. Yeah, it was a little camera.
Okay.
Well, I got my stop circuit installed. Works good. Let's see if I can get you over here to see it. And right now, yeah, there you go. It's there's the light. Now if I hit the fob, let's see, where's it going? There it is. That cuts off the voltage to the motors. And it basically stops that, but it does not stop any of the electronics. And the other thing I did was I installed a USB camera up here, and that's goes right into the Pi, and the Pi is running on battery right now. And I've got a monitor and got it over onto the table instead of the chair, but the monitor times out if I don't use it, so I have to reconnect here. And that's something I got to chase. Right now, that's a live picture going through the Raspberry Pi. And that's looking out the window over the road. And it's a live shot. And I was able to make a recording.
The stuff on the TV is what we're supposed to be looking at? Because
Yeah.
your camera's not pointing at the TV.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, now we can see something.
Okay, yeah. So that's a live recording. And I can do a recording, but I won't do it right now. But the problem I have is that if I don't use or press a key or anything, it times out pretty shortly. And so I got to look into that. The other thing is there's quite a bit of whitewashing, so I'll have to look into that. And and I can check out my checkerboard. Let's see if I can. Eventually, that's the end goal, is try and use that. But I got quite a ways to go. That's about as far as I am.
So that checkerboard will eventually be your AprilTags. Is that?
Yes. Yep. That's the calibration one.
Okay.
And but I've got much more reading and experimenting to do. There's the other thing I noticed too, is I got 4 bright lights that show up in every picture. I think you can see 2 of them.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Let's see. I can't. I'm trying to stretch. There's one right here, and
okay,
right.
Yeah, I see what you're
There's
talking
4 of them, 2 on each side. I don't know what that's all about, but it's constant no matter where I point the camera. So it could be just the camera, or maybe it's dirty, or I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it might be internal reflections inside of the camera or something.
Oh, okay. So that's about all I got.
So on your stop circuit, is that momentary or is it a click on, click off?
No, it's a click on, click off.
Okay.
So I can control it either on or off.
And then you've got the light on the robot, so you can tell if it's on or off.
Yeah. When that switch is lit, that tells me there's juice going all the way into the motor controller. So if I hit the fob, I can toggle it on and off. I'm debating whether I should put another switch in there, because the remote relay is always on when it's plugged into the battery. So the only way I can really conserve power is to remove the battery connection. So I don't know if I want to put another switch in there or not. I have so many switches, I'll need a map to tell me which switch is which and what for.
Yep.
I got to mute for a second.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, this time I remember to put it on pause instead of sitting there waiting to see what happens. So,
Yep.
so you were talking about too many switches.
Yeah. I like the lighted switches because then I know that they're on or off. But pretty soon I'll have to have a map just to tell me which switch is which.
Mm-hmm. Back to your camera and your 4 spots on the screen. Have you tried, just moving your hand around to see if it is a reflection in the room or something, or is it?
I'll
It could be
try.
just that you might just have too much light in the room. That's why I was thinking maybe
Oh.
internally in your camera might be reflecting or something. But
You see what I mean about
is it just simply timing you out so you just have to
Yeah.
log back in? There are Linux settings, or Linux settings somewhere that says how long you want to be on. Just say quit doing that completely, and then
yeah.
you won't have to worry about it anymore.
Okay, so
And you could just hold something up real close to the camera and see if that affects it or not. So
that's on the wall, so I can see them again. Let's try going to the other side of the room.
they do look like it's locked into your actual video, so it is
Yeah.
either the camera doing it, or you might have to play with it and just see. Eventually you might be able to track that down.
I'll turn the room light on, maybe that'll help. Is there too much light now? No, they're still there.
How are you getting that video onto the screen? And you got the camera plugged in, and then what do you do with it? How does it make it out its way out to the TV?
I've got Ubuntu 2404, and when I install that and hook the USB camera up, an icon appeared automatically, and then just click on it. See if I can move this out of the way. So, well, time to get seasick again. But over, where am I? Well, there's an icon in there that it doesn't show up very good, but it just pressed on that, and it was just
well, right now the two dots on the right are very bright, and the two on the left are fairly dim. So there's something you're doing is affecting them somewhat as you're moving around there.
Yeah, well, I'll have some time to think about it. Monday I go in for shoulder surgery, so I'll be out in a couple of days, but I'll be immobile for a while, so I can spend a lot of time reading and figure out what's going on.
Okay. Have you thought ahead? Are you going to be able to still run your Zoom stuff and run your computer to see what's going on, or are you going to have not do anything for a while?
I don't know. I'll know Wednesday if I'll be a vegetable or what my condition will be.
Okay.
I've been told I won't sleep very good for a couple of weeks. So, and this will be the first major operation I've had in quite a long time. So we'll see. Well, I'll probably know by Wednesday how I'm feeling.
Okay. I don't think I have anything else that I need to report or talk about, unless you have any questions for me.
No, after we stop and go away, I'll probably have a bunch of questions, but
Yeah, I was thinking
slack.
that too, but I just want to find out before we stop the recording.
Yeah,
What was the other thing I was going to say? I don't know. So we done recording?
yep.